Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of the Troy Trojans NCAA 14 Dynasty. Today we have the team introduction video, as we'll just go through quickly through all the players, a little bit of what their strengths are, and what position they'll be playing and everything. So a quick thank you to all the people who submitted players. It was so nice to see so many people actually want to be on the team and everything. And I did not get everybody who submitted a player in this video. I had a couple submitted after I recorded this, so I'll go through those guys at the end. I promise you're still on the roster. I just don't have any footage of your player from this little practice that I did. But without further ado, let's get into the players. The starting quarterback for your Troy Trojans will be Dalton Thomas, as he is a balanced quarterback with decent speed and acceleration, but will most likely be a pocket passer, as he will definitely start week 1, but he will be on a short leash because of this next guy. Backing him up will be Eli Arnold, because Arnold is also a senior and is very good as well. He is a scrambling quarterback with a strong arm and decent accuracy, but his best asset, good lord, is his elusiveness and his ability to get around defenders in open field. Our starting halfback will be senior Alex Calvo. He is a very quick and elusive back, and he won't break out of many tackles, but it will be a difficult task for defenders to even get a hold of him, as he should be a fun one to watch out of the backfield. Our backup halfback will be Robert Byrd, as he will be the backup his freshman season, but he will definitely see a good amount of play time since Calvo is a senior. He very well could be the starter in this next year, and maybe even take some carries away from Calvo this year. Our third halfback is Trippy, and although Trippy will be third on the depth chart, he has the most speed of anyone in the backfield, and with that speed he has a killer spin move, so he could be someone that we could use on screen plays and other plays where we need to get somebody into open space. Our fullback is senior Jason Hoffman, and his archetype is a receiving fullback, so we can get him involved in the pass game, but if it is third or fourth down with less than a yard to go, you can bet we will look his way. Our wide receiver 1 will be Caleb Wright. He is a senior and he will be the primary target this season. He has very good catch in traffic and doesn't have any real holes in his game. Wide receiver 2 will be Bradley Austin, and he has a very high vertical to make up for his lack of height, and he is an excellent route runner and will be a very, very reliable target for our quarterback. Wide receiver 3 is Lou Sassel, and he will be a great wide receiver 3 because he is just as good as both of the guys ahead of him, and he has great vision, so a check down to him could turn into a very big gain. Wide receiver 4 is John Calvinson. This Calvinson is actually the tallest receiver we have and is tied with Austin for the best jumping ability on the receiving corps, and with that higher than jumping ability, he will be a very big red zone threat. Our fifth wide receiver is Mike Barnes, who is a freshman with a ton of speed. He doesn't have any real strengths besides that, but he also doesn't have any real weaknesses either and should develop nicely. The starter for week 1 at tight end is Evan Jones. He's the fastest tight end on the roster and is a very good blocker as well. As like I said, he will be the starter, but he will also be on a short leash because the guy behind him is also very good. And the man behind him is Walker Reynolds, as he is very close in skill to Jones. This will be a position battle all season, as his height makes him very much a red zone threat. Moving now to the O-lineman, starting at left tackle will be Asa Spindler. He is very good at all types of blocks, but not great in really any way. Nick Moore will be the starter at left guard, as he is a very balanced blocker with no real weaknesses. Will Whitaker will be the starting center, as he is probably our best O-lineman and is a very, very good run blocker. Backing him up is De'Aaron Vilsaint, who also has really good run block, but is a weak pass blocker. Starting at right guard will be William Dank, who has no real strengths or weaknesses and is just very solid. The backup right guard is freshman Bubba Big Boy Johnson, who has very, very good size and terrific upside. Starting at right tackle will be David Renninger, who has very good run and pass block and maybe the best impact block on the team. The backup right tackle is Will Clark, who is very balanced and also has terrific upside. Looking now at the defensive side of the ball, starting at right end will be Johnathon Campbell, the sophomore at 6'1", 215. He's got good speed and strength and should get a lot of sacks this season. Starting at left end for us will be Donavon the Koala Baker, who is a very well-rounded left end, and he should also be a nice 1-2 punch with Campbell. Our first backup at defensive end is Robert Orr, who is a sophomore who has really good acceleration and will be a nice speed rusher in that backup position. Our last D end is Ian Roberts, who is a freshman and has really good upside, as he will have plenty of time to get reps in practice while these other guys ahead of him graduate, and then he will be the starter one day. Moving now to the D tackles, our starter is James Clark, the senior. He is very big, has really good hit power, and should force a lot of fumbles this year. Our second D tackle is Dawson McConnell, who is basically just a baby version of James Clark. He's also a very good run stopper and has really good awareness for a D tackle. Our third D tackle is senior DJ Thomas, who has very good size and really good hit power and should also force quite a few fumbles. Our last D tackle is Chuck Gaines, who is a senior, and he should see a lot of time in like jumbo sets or goal line stuff, and he would be very nice in those situations. Starting at middle linebacker will be junior Tyler Smith, who is very much a run stopping middle linebacker with decent coverage and very good speed, so he should be able to get the ball carriers quickly. Playing alongside him at the middle linebacker position will be Tyler Pritchford, who also has really good acceleration and is a little better in coverage, but maybe a little worse of a tackler. Our third and final middle linebacker is Eric Ross, who is very balanced, has good speed, and is already a pretty decent tackler, and he should have plenty of time to develop since he is just a freshman. Starting at left outside linebacker for us is Justin the Marine Gibbs. He is a very good tackler and has very good awareness, and even though he is listed as a coverage linebacker, he can lay the boom on ball carriers. Our backup left outside linebacker is Brandon Sisson, who is more of a run stopper than a coverage player, but should be very decent as well. Our starting right outside linebacker is 5'8" sophomore Jack Merrill, who has really good speed and high jumping and agility, so he should get quite a few interceptions and tackles from his right outside linebacker position. Backup right outside linebacker is senior Eljah Carlton, who has great hit power and will really be a force on the field for our linebacking core. Our final linebacker is Rob Senkawulo, who already has really good block shedding for a freshman and could be a very good blitzing linebacker in the future. Our starting cornerback will be Morgan Harrod, who is a senior and a very hard-hitting corner, but he also has great speed and agility, so he will be returning kicks and punts for us as well. At the cornerback 2 position will be Zach Haar, who is just a sophomore and already has really good man-to-man coverage and pursuit, and should be a great corner for us from now and the future. Our third corner will be junior Austin Moore, who has great coverage as well and really good speed and is a big threat for interceptions. Brandon Burkett is another hard-hitting safety for you with great acceleration and jumping, so he could also be a potential pick threat or maybe even force a few fumbles. Our last corner is Chris Root, who has great speed, good agility, and is a hard hitter as well, so maybe more picks and forced fumbles from him. Our starting free safety is senior Ashton Dekker, who is very good in coverage, won't make many tackles but could get a couple of interceptions. Backing him up is sophomore Waylon Crady, who is a very good coverage free safety and has really good speed and acceleration and should fly around the field. Starting at strong safety for us is senior Don Julio, who is incredible in coverage and has really good hit power and pursuit. Backing him up is sophomore Jace Davis, who is a hard-hitting strong safety with good speed and jumping, who could also get some interceptions. Moving now to special teams, our kicker is Johnny Crines, who has very good kick power and accuracy, as neither of them really stand out, and he should be very balanced at the kicker position. The last player I have footage for is senior punter Patrick Teehan, who has great kick power and will be our kickoff specialist and should have quite a few booming punts this season. Here are the guys that I did not have footage for but that are on the team. We have Christian Whalen at quarterback, Sammy Angelo at quarterback, Ashton Duck at halfback, Gavin Brumley at fullback, Dagan Dover at wide receiver, Ethan Hayes at wide receiver, Ryder DeMarce at D end, Kyle Barney at D tackle, Jesus Reynoso at left outside linebacker, Jace Pearson at corner, and Benji McBride at free safety. I do have all of you guys already put on the roster, but if you still want to be on the team, we have 1 left tackle position left, 2 left guard positions, but one of them is a red shirt, a center that is a red shirt, 1 right guard position, and a D tackle spot that is also a red shirt. But that is all the time I have for the Troy Dynasty introduction video, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed and would like to follow the series, then subscribe to the channel and like the video to show some love, and I will see all of you guys in game 1 next time.